حفل توقيع كتاب تحرير بحضور القائمين على هذا العمل الأستاذ عمر عطية والأستاذ رحاب خالد والأستاذ عبدالعزيم كورة شريف زيمو والأستاذ توميتي كالدس. والآن مع كلمة مع كتاب الكتاب وبعد كده هنتناقش في الكتاب وأي تعليق ممكن نسأله.
مساء الخير. يوسفني ان انا اقول لكم ان انا هكمل او هبتدي البرزنتيشن بالانجلش عشان we have guest speakers who are foreign, we're not Egyptian. Although I really wanted to conduct this presentation in Arabic since the whole book is about the Egyptian Revolution, so bear with me. If anyone does not understand anything, we will have a session after my presentation and after the rest of the photographer's presentation if anyone has any questions. First of all, it's an absolute honor and pleasure having you all. It's such a big group. شكرا ان انتوا لبيتوا دعوتنا وشرفتونا النهارده. النهارده احنا موجودين. We're here to talk about the book Raod to Tahrir. I'm sorry, this is completely improvised. I have not prepared anything, unlike other authors who usually start off with this line saying they've never prepared anything, and they're all sneaky and they have like 3,000 words down there, and it's like, oh wait, we've got like 3 pages down there. So this whole thing is completely improvised. The Raod to Tahrir, as many of you are aware, it's the first publication along 2 other books documenting the entire Egyptian revolution in sequence, in photos and text, beginning with the 25th of January till the 19th of March, documenting everything that has been witnessed in the streets of Egypt from the Egyptian people. It has basically started off with the very peaceful demonstrations, and then it has witnessed all the violence and all the battering that the revolutionists had witnessed, and then it has seen an upscale of events until finally the ex-president Mohammed Mubarak has stepped down. So in the book you could easily follow the sequence of images where basically you start off with an introduction about the Raod to Tahrir, and this is what you start off with. The Raod to Tahrir, as a title, it explains basically, and for those who do not understand the meaning of the word Tahrir, it basically means in English liberty. So basically it means the connotation of the road to liberty, and hopefully what we started off with initially as freedom, equality and dignity. And this is what you start off with, an introduction about the entire book. And at the same time, the title explicitly means that we came from different parts of the city. Timothy from Zamalek, I came from Maniel, Rehab and Zemo came from different parts of the city, and we all marched in through different access roads to Tahrir, and eventually we all met there to document this. In our presentation, we will not play a hero's role saying how we contributed and how we got battered and how we got hit and how we got somehow they've taken away our cameras and all that. We will not play this role. We are only here to present this book and hopefully convince you to buy it. The book starts off with an introduction, and this is a great picture taken by Sherif Assaf, who sorry could not make it today. This shows the magnitude of the revolution and the enormous number of protesters who actually took themselves to the streets and actually contributed to this revolution. And it's a big slap on the faces of those who claimed that this revolution did not exceed 1 million. And as you could see, it's a whole magnitude. You could feel the energy from this picture if you look at it from details. And once you've seen the access roads leading to this square, you could easily tell that it has simply exceeded millions by far. The book is divided into separators, basically in terms of dates. It starts off with the 25th of January, And in each separator, you'll find the date, the name of the date, a small introduction about what happened there exactly in details, and then a group of pictures explaining what happened on that day, and a small quote that really summarizes the whole day. And as you could see, it went on with the whole police. I know this off by heart, so it's alright, I can see. It started off with the police preventing the protesters from marching to Tahrir Square. And as you could see here, we have explicit photos of signs which, and that's the whole importance of this book, to see how it started off with, and how it's continuing, and how it's going to end. And hopefully, inshallah, in the way we've initially started this. This shows the signs of how we started this: freedom, dignity, and human equality. This is what we started off with. It was not the fall of the regime from the very start. This came later on today, but this is what we started off with. And then you'll see, I believe, this is a great shot by Zemo, and this picture, for all of you at the back, this picture explicitly summarizes the entire revolution. This cry of agony really explicitly summarizes everything that we've fought for, even those who did not even believe in, who did not suffer from the 60 years of military ruling and 30 years of Mubarak's rule, and were well off. They were well off educationally, they were well off economically, but this is why we all went down, regardless of the social class, regarding of the economic class. This summarizes the entire revolution. And then, moving on, this is the 28th of January, which remarkably documents the Friday of anger, the day that really, the day that escalated the whole entire revolution into the ending that it has witnessed. And this is a picture that summarizes the entire day. People fighting for their lives, people fighting for their freedom, and fighting for the freedom of their... And then you'll find the protesters praying after their Friday prayers, walking around saying it's a very peaceful revolution, and then you'll find them being attacked by rubber bullets, tear gas bombs, water cannons, and this is a picture that shows complete irony, having a protester walking around with a sign saying Silmiya, Silmiya, very peaceful, and then you find the irony of events where he's met with all the battering and all the killing, and you'll find a lot of martyrs in this book. So this is a great documentation to see why we initially started this, why we're still fighting for this. I don't want to play on the tone, on the emotional tone of for the sake of the martyrs and all that. With this book, we are reaching the minds of the readers to basically explain and remind them of why we started this. And so on and so forth. I don't want to take too long explaining how the book is presented and laid out. This is something for you to see. And the book somehow could be connotated in different ways. You could understand it from different ways. You could look at simple pictures and go into details and meditate about them. Other pictures you could easily skip. But we've tried to shed light on everything. We've shed light on the role of women into this revolution. We've shed light on the role of the disabled, who also contributed in this revolution, the youth, who initially started this revolution, and so on and so forth. This book documents the 19th of March, the referendum day, and we're aiming to continue the sequel until the elections in November, and so on and so forth. This book the idea came from the fact that we've all been reading history books, and I'm sure we've all learned somehow about the 1952 revolution that occurred in Egypt. But who really remembers anything out of it, except some dates, the Zubat al-Ahrar, a couple of names, and that's all. But who could really relate to the 1952 revolution? Anyone? You're all young, but yeah. Anyways, so this book is something to be proud of, something to be proud of your contribution to it, and something to show to your future generations of how this has affected the history of Egypt, even though you're speculating about where this revolution is taking us right now. This is history and it's taking place regardless of whether we like the fact it's happening, regardless of the consequences that's happening, but this is history taking place, and we hope you like it. That's all. I would also like to thank another presenter, Dr. Karima Khalil, the owner and the author and the editor of Messages from Tahrir, and we have a fellow photographer right there, Rania Helmi, who also contributed in another book called Messages from Tahrir, which is a great book published by AUC Press, documenting the whole revolution in terms of science. It's a great complementary book that complements this book, and I request you all to take a look at it, and if you're interested, definitely buy it. It's definitely worth it buying. That's pretty much it. I'll give the word to the other photographers to present their experience, their ideas, how they shared in this book, and we're available all right here for questions and answers, for Q&As if anyone has any questions. Thank you.